Hello, my name is Natalia Munoz and I'm an occupational therapy student. And this is week 8 of my level 1 adults fieldwork. It was a very interesting experience because it was all simulation based. Typically, we would go and do observation at a traditional or non traditional site, but because of COVID-19, that was not possible, so we used everything simulation based. It was new, it was different, and I personally had to learn a new style and open my mind into how can I learn and take advantage of this opportunity to the maximum potential so that I can be a better occupational therapist. How does this experience help me with my clinical reasoning? Well, I was able to look at other occupational therapists perform sessions with adults and use my OT lenses to understand what are they looking at, how do they approach the client, what areas of occupation are being targeted, what performance skills are being addressed, what are the client factors that are limiting the participation of the client in those meaningful occupations, and how can occupational therapy help the client achieve those goals that they want. How can they learn new skills or use the skills that they have, and how can occupational therapy help in that process? It helped me with problem solving skills because I was able to analyze and understand what the OT was doing with the client and maybe think, okay, this is what's happening. How can they change it, or what other options are there? I had to develop goals as well, and I had to do a case study that was very helpful because I was able to understand what are the implications of psychosocial factors that limit the performance of a client, and how can I use interventions within the occupational therapy scope of practice so that I can help the client be more independent, be more functional, and participate in community-based resources so that they can be more independent. Decision making. So how do I come to that conclusion of, okay, this is what's going to benefit more the client instead of doing this, using what I learned throughout all these classes, understanding what are the models for occupational therapy, understanding what are the interventions used with the clients, and how can I grasp what I learned from the books and put it into practice. Understanding that the models are there to guide my clinical reasoning, my ability to choose the best intervention approach so that I can help the client, and then also guide them, because it's not just about me. It's to understand that as an occupational therapist, my goal is to have clear communication with the client so that we can both work together, because my goal is to help my client be independent, be able to participate in meaningful occupations. So it was very interesting. Communication, it was a little different because I wasn't on a site where I could directly go to the supervisor and ask questions right then and there, but I was able to do it via email. I was able to communicate with the professor, which was my fieldwork coordinator and my fieldwork educator. And you have to have clear communication. You have to be able to express what are your concerns, what is it that you're not understanding, and also be able to receive feedback and learn from that feedback. Having open communication is very important so that you can grow as a professional and as a human being in general. I don't think I would have changed anything, because under the circumstances that we are, this opportunity was given to me and I took it, and I'm very grateful because I was able to learn, and it pushed me to be a better student. I feel that it makes me a better occupational therapist, and I'm gonna be able to go and use those skills that I learned throughout this 8 weeks, and what I observed, I was able to understand, analyze. I was able to interpret the information and then say, okay, this is what OT is for an adult patient. Now I'm going to go into another level 1 observation, and I just have to prepare, understand what are the models that we're going to be using with the next population. What are the assessments that we're going to use? What are the interventions? So I think that it's just, we live in a very different world now, and technology has made it easier for us to be able to move on and continue to achieve our goals. And I'm just really excited that I'm able to do this. And for the upcoming students, read your material, communicate with your classmates. Don't be afraid of asking questions, because this is why we're here. We're here to learn, and it's okay to not know, but it's not okay to do something without being sure and then learning nothing from it. One of the things that I did learn is that I am going to be an occupational therapist, and I am going to be able to use my knowledge to help clients. What does this mean? Well, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, and every day we get ideas from them. But what matters for us as occupational therapists is that we're able to learn it and then teach it to others. Not say, oh, YouTube shows this, because I can do it. I can help my clients learn new skills. So for the upcoming students, don't be scared. It is a simulated based approach, but you will be able to learn. You will be challenged just as if you were go to another setting in person, and you're gonna learn, and you will be able to understand what occupational therapists do within the adult population. Thank you very much for this time and for the opportunity. Have a great day.